and that's the last time you mess with Panda Cup.
And cut! Great stuff, Kenan. Cowboys and Space Bit is up next.
Okay, cool. I'm headed to the green room.
Kenan!
What's up, Naomi?
Hey, so remember how I booked that Adobe Sneaks gig for you?
Oh, yeah. When do I get the sneakers, by the way? And can I pick a color? Because I'm really into cerulean and salmon right now.
No. Adobe Sneaks. It's when Adobe's top researchers and engineers compete to determine the best innovation of the year.
Oh, so no sneakers?
No. But you do get sneak peeks of cutting-edge tech and Adobe applications.
Oh, yeah, okay. Equally cool. All right. So when is this sneaks thing happening anyway?
Well, about that. Now.
Now? You mean like in the middle of a sketch show?
Yeah, it's just you're so busy I had to double book you. Oh, and the presenters are already here. Like, watching you.
Oh, snap. They're right there. Hey, everybody.
Hi, Kenan.
Hey, okay. All right, Kenan, let's pretend that this is a master class at improv.
Actually, the creative marketing guru called it Maxterclass, as in Adobe Max. It's just a play on. Okay, I will leave you to it. Oh, and Kenan, I booked you to host the Apple Valley Candle Club. It's tonight.
Okay. First rule of improv, always say yes. Apparently, that's my manager's guiding principle, too. Okay, Adobe Max Sneaks. Let's see what you're all about.
Welcome to Adobe Sneaks.
Well, hello. Welcome to a thing I definitely knew I was hosting and am genuinely informed and super knowledgeable about.
Welcome to a thing Kenan Thompson definitely knew he was hosting and is genuinely informed and super knowledgeable about.
I'm Kenan Thompson. You've probably seen me on my show Kenan, or on SNL if you've happened to catch it in the past 47 years. And that's precisely where I'll be until you guys figure out how to clone me so I can send my clone double to work while I chill at home mastering exotic hobbies like the ancient athletic art of bocce. They say Sneaks is traditionally a safe space for work drinking, so maybe whip up a Maxarita and slip into something a little more comfortable. Oh, I'm sitting here in my long undies. You know what? I got a great idea. What do you say we meet our first sneak?
Hi, Kenan. I'm Han, and this is Project Morpheus.
You mean like Morpheus? Morpheus?
Not exactly. People always tell me that I need to smile more in photos. I think they're right.
Oh, come on now, Han. I wouldn't say that. Oh, my. Yes. Actually, those people are absolutely right.
Fortunately, I got a solution. Last year at Max, we announced Photoshop Neural Filters powered by Adobe Sensei. It allows users to edit many facial attributes, including expressions. So I can simply do this. Let's wait and see what happens. That's it. You can see the smile on my face.
Oh, wow.
If I feel this is not enough, I can make myself even happier. Again, the new request is handled on the backend. And through the power of Adobe Sensei, I can smile in all photos. Problem solved.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, except for this one. Apparently, I don't smile in videos either, but I have a solution.
Kenan, you're up in 5.
You know, videos are made up of frames, so I can just use Photoshop and fix each frame one at a time. But videos have hundreds of frames. It's going to take too long. Plus, I will need to be very careful to update each frame in exactly the same way so as not to give away my smiling secret. That's a problem. But I think I have created a solution. With Project Morpheus, I can run this code that uses the same Adobe Sensei AI magic that powers neural filters. One process and every single frame has been updated. As you can see, now I'm smiling in the video.
Hey, okay, partner, I love that.
The technology actually did what I would have had to do tediously. Now it's really more convenient. Moreover, the technology was developed to make the result more accurate and consistent. The same neural filters magic, but now applied to the entire videos.
That's incredible, Han. Hey, can you add a smile to my face when I say this? Yeah, I'd absolutely love to be the face of vegan mayonnaise.
Sure, let's do it after the demo.
Cool.
So, if I can make myself smile in the video, I wonder if I can also make myself look more hip. Actually, with Project Morpheus, I can change any of the options supported by newer filters and more. Let me try something here. What do you expect? Now I'm smiling and have new mustache. That's Project Morpheus, newer filters powered by Adobe Sensei and applied to videos, making me smile and look cool. Thanks for watching.
Well, I gotta tell you, you do look extremely cool with that mustache, hon. Game recognizes game, as they say.
Thanks, Kenan, and great mustache, by the way.
And thanks for that amazing sneak. Okay, now, let's all mentally prepare to get our collective mind blown once again. Who do we have behind sneak door number 2? You ever seen Space Cowboys? Remember that movie? What is it? You know what? Let's just see what Simon says.
Hello, Kenan. Simon here with Project Inbetween. Taking pictures is now easier than ever, and speaking from my own experience, I often end up with lots of similar pictures when I'm trying to capture just the right moment. Let's take these ones for instance. They were taken just moments apart, look similar but also different, and my personal photo collection is full of such examples. Wouldn't it be great if you could somehow make use of such complementary pictures and turn them into living photos? This is what Project Inbetween, powered by Adobe Sensei, is all about. Let me show you. With just a single click, we're gonna give Project Inbetween a brief moment to do its magic. And here's the living photo that was generated for us.
Wow, look at that.
That is, an animation was automatically generated between these two images, and all these new pictures in between the two given ones did not exist before. They were generated through the power of Adobe Sensei.
Okay.
Just imagine what this technology enables with similar pictures inside of your photo collection.
I have so many photos like this because I'm a professional photo blinker. It does not pay well, Simon.
I can only imagine. Let's try another example. We just select two images, press the button, give it a brief moment, and here we go. Just look at the transition between the two facial expressions here. And again, all these new pictures in between the two given ones did not exist before, and they were generated automatically by Project Inbetween. We can also go ahead and pause the automatic animation, which allows us to manually flick through all the generated in-between pictures.
All right. I know you're attributing this to machine learning, but I'd like to offer another theory. That photo is haunted.
Well, I hope not. But of course, Project Inbetween works in all kinds of footage. Let's take this family picture, for example. We press the magic button and see what happens. What a nice transition that isolates and highlights the emotion of the girl.
Wow, look at that.
Thanks to Project Inbetween, we can experience similar pictures in entirely new ways, and we can turn these animations into GIFs and share them on social media.
So is it GIF or GIF? GIF? Which one makes the peanut butter?
GIF makes the peanut butter, we make the GIFs.
Got it.
I would now like to introduce you to my dog. This is Smiley. But just these two pictures doesn't do her cuteness justice. So let's see what Project Inbetween can do for us. And here we go.
Okay.
Given just two images, we now got ourselves some Instagram-worthy content.
Oh, that's definitely getting a like from me. Hey, does Smiley have his own IG account?
I get right on that, Kenan. Well, so far, Project Inbetween has been used to generate images between two input images. But we can also add a third picture into the mix. So let's give it a try. Here we go. Project Inbetween creates an animation between three input images. Once again, all these new pictures were generated through the power of Adobe Sensei, and there are 96 newly animated frames in between the given three input images. Well, this is all we have for you today. I hope you're looking forward to creating similar animations and sharing these as GIFs on social media. Hashtag InBetweenSneaks.
Amazing. You took accidental photos that nobody wants and turned them into delightful shareable GIFs.
Thank you.
This is truly the gift that keeps on giving.
Kenan! Where's my star?
Oh, listen, I need to deal with a situation. I'm sure you all understand.
This is Mission Control. We found Kenan.
Mission accomplished. Hey, how does a space cowboy wrangle their cattle? A tractor beam. I'll hold for laughter. And done. All right. Tell me, who's up next in the great sneak peeks of 2021?
Hi, Kenan. Nice to meet you. Would you like to hear about Project OnPoint, a technology for pose-based search?
All right, what's up, Dewey Goo? I'm excited to see how easily you will search all my fly poses on the red carpet.
Thanks to Adobe Stock, a new art form called surreal photo collage is becoming popular. An artist friend of mine wants to create such a project, and he already has a concept sketch in mind. He is asking for my help to find images from Adobe Stock to realize this sketch.
Oh, sure, your artist friend. We've all got an artist friend, Dewey Goo. In here.
One of the main subjects of the concept of my artist friend is a child. So let's try to see if we can find a good image from Adobe Stock.
Yeah, sure.
Searching for with the keyword child returns almost 12 million images. But how do we go through all these to find one with a particular pose that would fit our concept? Maybe we can try to make our query a bit more specific by describing the pose we are looking for. However, this doesn't really work. Wouldn't it be great if we could search based on the pose of the child instead? Imagine you could upload an image, or in this case, a sketch of a person, and let our technology, powered by Adobe Sensei, do its magic and retrieve from millions of Adobe Stock images the images with the most similar pose to our query. We present Project OnPoint, which detects the pose of people in images and uses this as a search query.
Okay, here's a pose for you. It's called Go On, I'm listening.
OnPoint works with images of multiple people and highlights the person with the most similar pose to your query. You can update your query by selecting new images and explore. These results look good, but what if you want to refine the query pose? We visualize a simple stick figure which you could manipulate to update your query. As you drag the points on the stick figure, the search results get updated instantly, and you can iterate until you find what you are looking for. Here, this image of the girl will fit our concept well.
And how does that make you feel?
That was easy and fun, right? Our final surreal photo collage project is a huge success.
Wow. Now that art project is totally on point.
I agree, Kenan. With OnPoint, we were able to find an image of a child with a pose that fits our concept from millions of Adobe Stock images in just a few minutes. We can also use OnPoint to search for images in our personal albums. Recently, I had a wedding photo shoot and wanted a shot with my niece where I'm handing my flowers to her. Since she's 2 years old only, however, she cannot really pose and our attempts failed. After the photo shoot, I have hundreds of photos of my niece in my album, and I want to use Project OnPoint to find a photo of her that I could use to make a new composition. I can use the stick figure to prescribe a query pose, and OnPoint returns the images in the album with the most similar pose to my query. Here, this photo looks good. I can now composite this to one of my own photos to create that perfect moment I was looking for.
Now that is such a beautiful photo. I would cry, but these long undies aren't very absorbent. Learned that the hard way.
Bye, Kenan. Thanks.
What outstanding life hack will we uncover next? Let's take a look at sneak number 4.
Hi, Kenan. It's really nice to meet you.
I mean, come on. Look at my outfit. Trust me, the pleasure is all mine. All right, Jianming, go on and drop some shadows on me. I think.
Oh, Kenan, you misunderstood. I'm going to talk about shadow creation in image compositing.
Nerd alert.
You know, shadow can greatly enhance a composite image, but it's also very time-consuming to create. Let's take this layer of plant for an example. There's a drop shadow layer effect in Photoshop, but it doesn't work well here. No matter how we tweak it, the shadow just looks fake and the object looks flat and lifeless. Therefore, we have to manually create a shadow for each of the objects in the scene, which can be quite tedious and painful. Let me introduce you to Shadow Drop. Powered by Adobe Sensei, Shadow Drop makes shadow creation easy and fun.
But you know who's not gonna like this technology? Groundhogs. They're terrified of it. Told me in a dream last night.
Let's work on the plant first. With a few simple clicks, Shadow Drop generates a nice soft shadow on the bottom of the plant, making it look real and grounded. Want to change the shadow style? No problem. There's a slider here that controls the softness. When you decrease the softness, as you can see, the shadow just gets harder and you started to see the shape of the leaves in the shadow. When we increase the softness, the shadow gets softer and smoother, just like what you will see in a well-lit room. Let's move back a little bit. Note that this is just a 2D image layer, not a 3D asset. Since there's no more slider here, you may wonder, how can we add and change shadow direction? Well, it's quite easy. In Shadow Drop, all you need to do is to click and drag the shadow to the place you want. Once you're satisfied with your shadow, we can bring back the rest of the object in the scene, and their shadow automatically matches what we have set for the plant. We can also change their shadow all at once.
That's amazing.
Yeah, quite amazing. There's one more feature I want to share with you. Alternatively, we can click this option and we'll drop a nice soft reflection effect on the floor. Looks nice too. Either way, it's a much better compositing than what I have started with a couple minutes ago. What a time saver. Now we have learned the basics of Shadow Drop. Let's try creating something new. This is a kid's room with a bed. As before, with a few clicks, we can create a very nice soft shadow for the bed so it doesn't look flat anymore. However, it's still not quite right yet. There's a wall in the scene and the shadow should be casted on the wall. Don't worry. In Shadow Drop, we can add a wall too. As you can see, when the wall moves closer to the object, its shadow gets updated accordingly, adding more photorealism to this composition. Shadow Drop can also handle illustration too. Here we add a cartoon girl. As expected, her shadow automatically matches the scene. What's more interesting is that when she starts to move, her shadow moves with her. Imagine how much time you would have spent on this without a Shadow Drop. One more thing. Shadow Drop does not assume that the object is always on the ground. Instead, it computes shadow based on the distance we set between the object and the floor. Therefore, we can make the scene more exciting.
Sounds great. I'm on the edge of my shadowless chair here.
Let's try lifting the bed in the air. Wow. Shadow Drop just creates convincing floating effect for the bed using the updated shadow. This is the final composition we have just created with Shadow Drop using only 2D image layers in a couple minutes. This is before, and this is after. Hope you enjoy this. Thank you.
Okay, that was crazy. I've always said when beds fly and have corresponding shadows, then I'll have seen everything. So, everything I have officially now seen. Thanks, Jianming.
Thanks, Kenan.
Dropping shadows and dropping knowledge all at the same time. Well, speaking of dropping things, I'm currently dropping the ball on my other commitment, so please enjoy this brief intermission.
Bye.
Hey, Naomi! Trust me, it wasn't as weird as it seems. Let's see how Sneak 5 is going to change the world as we know it, shall we?
Okay.
Hi, Kenan. I'm Matthew. How are you?
Oh, I'm great, Matthew. Clearly just totally relaxing and talent scouting all these great sneaks that you and your friends got here. Nothing more, nothing less. Definitely not about to shoot a intergalactic reenactment. You know what? Just tell us what you're sharing with us.
Project Sunshine. It's about adding colors and lights to vector artwork. Do you know what vectors are, Kenan?
Yeah. I know a few victors from around the way. They all in jail now, though.
That's great. But I'm talking about vectors, which is an illustration term.
Who knew? Thought it was that car from the 80s.
Well, speaking of the 80s, I've been a big fan of comic books since then, so let's start by making a comic. I've gone ahead and imported this cool monster sketch I drew into Illustrator.
Hold on. You drew that? You should, like, work for Adobe or something.
To get started here, I normally begin by tracing over the sketch point by point. This is going to take me quite a while. Project Sunshine makes this process much easier. Just select the whole sketch, click, and in a single click, we got this nice, crisp vector outline.
Is that what a vector is?
Next, let's try adding some colors to this character. I'm going to go in and assign some colors. Let's say gray for the teeth, yellow for the candles, and so on. But I plan on using lots of different color variations of this character, so I'd really like a way to speed this up. Project Sunshine to the rescue. We just select our character, invoke the color tool, click, and it fills the artwork with harmonious colors powered by Adobe Sensei technology. I can just scroll through the list of suggestions, and I can load any that I like into my artwork. What's cool is that it's not just assigning random colors to different regions, but it's able to smartly group components together, like using similar colors for the horns or the teeth. If one of these suggestions is close, but not quite what I'm looking for, then because everything is vectorized, it's easy for me to continue making edits however I like. Now that I have a lot of different color variations of this character, I'm going to go ahead and put them together into my comic.
Okay, we all know this classic scene, office birthday party at the Scare Factory. Hey, everybody, why don't you take a break from all the scaring and come have some cake in the conference room? Sorry, Matthew. Please continue.
These flat colors look nice, but to give the strip a more realistic feel, I want to add shading and highlights. Normally, I'd pick a character to start with and dive in by drawing some shadows. Just finishing and tweaking the shading for this character could take me quite a while. And if I decide I don't like a decision I made, like the direction of the light, I'd have to start all over again. This is where this technology really shines. To add shadows to my monster, I'm going to select, open up the Shadows tool, and magically, I get this nice, crisp vector shading. And to go one step further, I'm going to adjust the lighting direction, and the shadows automatically move around the character. What's great is that this doesn't just work for a single object, but we can easily apply this lighting globally to the whole scene. I'll just pick an angle that I like, and there we go. This added awesome realism to the comic and saved me a lot of time.
I gotta admit, this Office Monster Birthday Spectacular does look much more realistic, especially all the little fingers coming out of the cakes. Oh wait, those are candles.
Well, speaking of artwork with more complicated components like fingers and hair, let's take a look at this manga cover I'm working on. Here, I really want the lighting to convey the complex interplay between the sun and the characters. I'm going to select my characters and apply 2 lighting directions. One direction for the shadows and another direction for the glow from the sun. And because everything is vectorized, I can just go in here. I'm going to apply, let's say, yellow here for the sun, purple here for the shadows. Let's adjust the transparency a bit. And in a few clicks, we added depth to our characters, even across complex regions like hair and clothes. With the magic of sunshine, in no time at all, I vectorized the sketch, added rich colors to my characters, and applied multiple types of shading. We're really excited about the future here, and we think that Project Sunshine will make it easier than ever before to create vibrant vector artwork.
Well, there you have it. Finally, Adobe came up with a product to replace actual sunshine, which is hot and burns our skin. No more putting on pesky sunscreen. There's Project Sunshine. Now, I don't know why, but I've got a sneaking feeling this next sneak is gonna get crazy. Take it away, sneak number 6.
Hi, Kenan.
Hey, Paul. This is a construction vest. What groundbreaking technology are you gonna unveil?
I have Project Stylus Strokes for you today. Imagine that you're a designer working on some travel posters, and you want to apply the pattern you have around the rectangle to the type Athens. So you select the type and apply a brush, and that is not what you wanted. It's completely unreadable. The problem is that the brush got applied to the font outlines, but you wanted it to go on the strokes that make up the letters. So we're going to need to take the pen tool and start to trace these strokes by hand, one by one. Oh, need to turn off the fill. Okay, this is really tedious. Let's start again. Thanks to Project Stylus Strokes, now we can turn on Apply to Fill in the Brushes panel. And after we do that, we can select the type, apply the brush, and get exactly what we wanted. Stylus Strokes analyzed the font outlines and automatically found the strokes that make up the letters.
Oh, wow, cool.
Now, let's go to Paris.
Viva la France, am I right? Am I?
We can select the type, and with a single click,
Ooh,
voila.
Ooh la la.
Just imagine how long it would have taken to trace all those letters by hand.
With all the time I'm gonna save, I can take on like 3 more jobs. Hey, Naomi, money!
Our next stop is Berlin. Kenan, what do you think about when you think about Berlin?
Asymmetrical banks, underground techno clubs, walls, Liza Minnelli in the hit 1966 musical Cabaret.
Oh, I'm totally with you on Liza. But I also love all the fantastic street art and graffiti in Berlin.
Yes, of course, and street art.
With Stylus Strokes, we can also turn fonts into graffiti. Because the results are based on the font, we can get different styles just by changing the font. None of these is quite right, so let's try a different style. Oh, I really like this bubble style, but it's not quite right for the poster, so let's try another one. Ah, great, I love the arrows, but not quite the right colors, so let's try some different color palettes from Adobe Color until we find one we like. And now we can go back to Illustrator and get rid of this boring type and put in our graffiti. Perfect.
Oh, this is gonna be a game changer for teenage graffiti crews. You guys wanna do some tagging today? Just get the latest Adobe update.
Well, that's an idea. For our final stop, let's go to Florence. The Ponte Vecchio is so amazing, and I'd like to use it for inspiration for styling my type. Stylus Strokes can find strokes that are similar across characters, like all of these verticals, or these pieces at the top of the F and the L, or all of the serifs. We can select a group of them and then replace them all with a piece of custom artwork. you can see how similar strokes have been replaced with the same artwork. Let's go to the final version. There we go. Finally, I wonder what one of Florence's most famous citizens might do with stylus strokes. I think Leonardo da Vinci might like the ability to create animated stylizations. Again, let's skip to the final version. Wow. So, Kenan, I hope you're thinking about how you could use stylus strokes. Mille grazie. Ciao.
That looks amazing. And I'm glad you went with machines for the Da Vinci illustration and not human corpses.
Kenan!
Oh, BRB, people.
Yes?
Sorry about that, folks. Stuff is getting weird out there. Just between us, I like being here with all of you much better. Who isn't absolutely fired up to check out sneak number 7? Your fingers are delicious, by the way.
Hey Kenan, so nice to meet you.
Hey, Nikhil. What amazing technology do you have up your proverbial sleeve?
Let me show you what I've got here. Let's say I want to create a social media post for my local skate park. And I'm thinking of a cool skateboarding character illustration.
Okay.
I'm going to use this picture as reference and vectorize this person in here. Now, I can do this using the Capture app or image trace inside Illustrator, but the problem here is it does not really understand this image and gives me these weirdly connected shapes, and there are some missing pieces here. This is a whole lot of cleanup to do. Or I could manually go ahead and trace this using the pen tool, but that is going to take me a lot of time. But what if there was technology that could understand the contents of this image and then vectorize it?
I would be vectorizing left and right. And thanks to a previous sneak, I kind of almost understand what that means.
I present to you Project Make It Pop, an intelligent way to vectorize pictures. At the click of a button, our technology, powered by Adobe Sensei, identifies the contents of this image and creates these clean vector shapes for me. It knows that this is a hair, that's the arm, this is the shirt, and these are all vector shapes, so I can edit their nodes or change their colors. And because the technology also understands the relationships between these shapes, it knows that the hand is connected to the arm and moves along with it. Now, that was quick. So let's make it even better by adding some design elements to this. Because Make It Pop understands the difference between the subject and the background here, when I move the shape on top of this subject, part of it goes behind it, creating this really cool depth effect, and that really makes this image pop. And doing this manually would have taken me a lot of time in creating that mask and layering this shape. So isn't it awesome that I've saved so much time?
Well, if it would take you a long time, it would take me approximately, carry the one, forever.
Now, this looks cool, but it doesn't really have the energy of a skate park. Right, Kenan?
Hey, look, I'm glad you like that photo of me skateboarding and all, but that was private, Nikhil. I wish you'd asked me first.
Okay. So let me take this other picture that I have here. But then now, to match this image, I'll have to manually move and edit all of these shapes one by one. But because our technology remembers where these shapes are coming from, it can analyze this new image and remap this illustration, moving all of these shapes to their right places. It has also made sure that the joints and the edges stay connected. It has cleaned it up and even moved this swirl so that it stays attached to the same body parts. Now, I can edit this all I want. So let's change the colors here a little. I'll also add these motion lines to make it look even better. Now, Make It Pop really understands the construction of this image. So when I start dragging this design element, it highlights all the surfaces that it has detected in this scene. And when I drop this onto the ground plane, it matches its perspective and intelligently fills it. Now, if this was a simple pattern fill, it would have just repeated these stripes over, or I would have had to manually make each of these rectangles. But because Make It Pop understood this scene so well at so many levels, it made my work a whole lot easier. And isn't it cool being able to make all the creative decisions yourself and letting the machine do all of the tedious work?
Yes, that's what we all want. That's why we're here.
I know, right? And Make It Pop works not only on images, but it can make a video pop as well. It analyzes all of these frames, does all the heavy lifting for me, putting all the shapes in the right places, giving me this cool animated video. That is Project Make It Pop, and thank you for tuning in.
Hey, nice work, Nikhil. Go ahead and take your victory lap. Yep, I said it. Who needs time travel when you've got sneaks? Also, way less of a chance that you'll accidentally fall in love with your own mama. Man, time is truly flying with all this innovation. Let's meet sneak number 8.
Hi, Kenan. Nice to meet you. I'm Nick, and this is Project Artful Frames.
Hey, fantastic to meet you as well, Nick. Can't wait to see your many artful frames.
All right, let's do it. So, suppose that I'm making a social media campaign for an upcoming exhibit of Impressionist art. I have a cool idea. What would it look like if the Impressionists were to visit our modern world? I have this picture of Vincent van Gogh's cafe terrace at night and this video of a modern city street. What I'd like to do is paint over every frame of this video in the style of Van Gogh.
You can do that?
This is similar to a popular technique called rotoscoping, but there's a problem. Even tracing over simple outlines of this video would take hours, and that's not even close to the level of detail of making an oil painting. That's where Project Artful Frames, powered by Adobe Sensei, comes in. It doesn't have an interface yet, but I'll show you how it works in the command line. First, I specify the video I want to trace over, and then the piece of artwork that we want to emulate. And finally, I'll invoke a fast preview mode. Press enter, and then every second or so, we'll produce a new artful frame. Let's retrieve the results. Now these are good for a fast preview, but we'll want our final result to be in high definition. This takes longer, about 90 seconds or so per frame. That's much faster than any human could paint, but a bit slow for this demo, so I've rendered the rest of the results beforehand.
And I thought I was a good impressionist. You see what I did there? I put the ist on impression.
You are, Kenan. I've been watching your sketches since I was a kid. But let's look at this first frame. If we look at the details, we can see individual brushstrokes and even the texture of the original canvas. And if I press play, we get a beautiful painterly animation where every frame is an oil painting.
Who needs great painters anymore? Van Gogh is somewhere going, excuse me? Oh, wait, sorry, wrong ear. Excuse me?
We still need great painters. Artful Frames just applies their work to a new scene. It's useless without a reference. But speaking of references, what happens if we use a different one? Let's say I have this watercolor and this video of the park. Artful Frames will now produce this other output. Just by switching out the inputs, we create a completely different visual effect, where every frame is a watercolor instead of an oil painting.
This is gonna change the whole painting game. Take that, Monet sayers!
All right, Kenan. So the examples I've shown you so far have been pretty well paired, where both the video and the piece of art are of similar content. But let's look at an example where that isn't true. Here we have a rough sketch of a canal, and this video of a busy intersection. Artful Frames can still handle this gracefully and create this nice result.
Okay now.
I think our campaign for the Impressionists will be a success. But let's see how far we can push this technology.
Push it all the way, Nick. Pedal to the metal.
All right, let's do it. So let's say the Science Museum comes to me and they want to create a campaign highlighting the relationship between creativity and the natural world. For a prompt like this, maybe it makes more sense for our style to be some natural phenomena rather than a piece of art.
Somebody tell the art supply store.
Here I've stylized the kid's drawing as a swirling nebula. Now, this entire effect, just like before, was driven by a single picture, but in this case a photograph, this one. Now I have one more example to show you. We can also use Artful frames to create some neat special effects. Here's a picture of some lightning bolts, and a video of a girl with a jetpack. Artful frames can still handle this well and create a cool special effect. We can composite the result back over the original and get this superhero effect.
Nice.
So what do you think of the Artful frames, Kenan?
This is so impressive. The way that you can take a blank canvas and paint your dreams onto it. It's kind of like when I go out and perform a comedy sketch.
Thanks, Kenan. Have a good one.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I am off to paint some dreams. Oh, hey, I cannot believe we're already into our final sneak. So who's our closer? Yeehaw! Man, I have never felt more alive. Word of advice, never bring a taser to a paintball fight.
Hello, Kenan. I'm Krishna. How are you?
All right, our grand finale is here. Come on, let's do this, Krishna.
Welcome to the presentation of Project Strike a Pose. The goal is to repose human in photographs. In order to create effective flyers, ads, or posters, oftentimes we need images of models in different poses. Luckily, Adobe Stock provides such images. However, finding images of a model in specific pose might be difficult. For example, my artist friend really liked this model for his poster but didn't like her pose. But there are several stock images with the desired poses. Is there any way to transfer these poses to the desired model?
I mean, I definitely know the answer, but for all those other Philistines out there, when exactly would you use this?
We can use Project Strike a Pose to harness the power of Adobe Sensei to achieve this.
I don't see what the issue is. This is a great pose.
In order to perform reposing, we just need to provide image of a model whose pose has to be changed, followed by a target image from where pose would be borrowed. And Strike a Pose gonna do rest of the magic to generate completely new image of this model in our desired target pose. This is really amazing given that this image never existed in real world and entire image was generated from the scratch. If you don't like this specific target pose, we can simply replace it with another image in which we like the pose. And again, we are able to generate a new image matching our target pose here. Sometimes finding a stock image with the desired pose might be tedious and it would be much faster to just pose ourselves. For example, I was interested in this folded arm pose, so I just went ahead and took picture of me in that specific pose. It just took me a few seconds. And then provided this image as our target pose. And again, we generated a new image matching my pose. So we can simply take the images in different poses which we like, and Strike a Pose can generate image matching these poses. I was also curious that how this model gonna look while facing backward. So I took another picture of me facing backward and provided it as a target image. And again, Strike a Pose generated a new image of this model facing backward. This is an extremely challenging task because we need to hallucinate entire back portion by just looking at the front side of the source image here. So we have seen our capabilities of reposing on stock images till now. Let's see how can we use it for some interesting downstream tasks. So remember the model which our artist friend want to use it for his poster? We used Strike a Pose to generate all these different pose variations of this model. This is truly remarkable because this model never posed in these poses before, but still Strike a Pose was able to generate all these different pose variation by using just a single image as a reference. Next, our artist friend created this impressive poster by using our generated image and saved a lot of time because he doesn't have to perform reposing himself. So till now we have seen our reposing capabilities on stock images, but our technology is not limited to that and can be also used for personal photo collection. So I recently got engaged.
Way to bury the lead, Krishna.
And my fiancé was visiting my parents.
Congrats on your engagement. I think the thing you've neglected to mention about this technology is that it makes you irresistible to women.
I'm not too sure about that, but thanks anyway, Kenan. As my fiancé was visiting my hometown, she was quite tense and ended up giving a pose which she didn't like.
Well, I mean, in fairness, it is a lot of pressure meeting the future in-laws.
That's true, but usually she is quite good in posing and has many more images in which she really like her pose. After seeing what Striker Pose could do on the stock images, she asked, can we replicate similar magic on her photo collection? And I said, why not? I gave the image in which she didn't like her pose as the source image, followed by an image in which she really liked her pose as the target image. And again, Striker Pose, powered by Adobe Sensei, did its magic and generated a completely new image of my fiancé in the pose which she really liked. So basically, we can easily change any bad poses in our personal photo collection using Striker Pose. So, Kenan, do you have any embarrassing pose which you would like to change?
I don't think so. I have done a lot of modeling. Actually, yes, Krishna, this technology would be extremely useful to me. Red carpet, here I come, finally.
Good luck with that, Kenan.
Wow, I cannot believe we got through all of the Adobe Max sneaks, and not one of these folks asked to raid my wardrobe. Their loss, I guess. I have learned so much today, mostly how to nod your head and pretend you know what a vector is. Upside, though, I am now overly bona fide to teach a masterclass in vector-related improvisation, so I got that going for me. I just gotta say, I am super impressed by all the innovation happening at Adobe. You're all working on technology that makes it easier and faster for artists to do their thing. And as an artist myself, I think we can all agree that this is art. I'm grateful. And I genuinely hope this all comes to market, especially the app that makes it look like I'm smiling. And then I can stay on SNL for 96 more years. Yay! No, but seriously, thanks again to all our presenters, and thank you for watching. Damn, I hope they actually send me them sneakers.
Kenan,
My sneakers! About time.
gotta hustle. The Apple Valley Kennel Club awaits, Kenan.
Oh, well, to Apple Valley we go. See you later, bye.
Risk versus reward. I'm very unlucky on the tables and sort of in gambling and things like that, but extremely lucky in life.
I've had many iterations of who I've been professionally, creatively, a hairstylist, a travel show host, and finally found my true calling in being an actor.
So I full-heartedly believe I'm going to lose all my money.
My name is Kelly Malka.